Good evening. You are listening to a Radulich and Broadcasting premiere podcast, The Metal Hammer of Doom Extra, as we march towards the end of the Metal Hammer of Doom proper and begin a new chapter as the Metal Hammer of Doom jukebox. We are counting down the albums one by one, and we are currently up to Megadeth, The Sick, The Dying, and The Dead. First, before I even get into all that, I am the mandated reporter, and frankly, I'm mortified, Mr. Mark Radulich, and to my left, right, ooch, the bratty one, the bratty one, Juicy J, Dick Tittins himself, big time, Jesse Starcher. How do you do, sir?
Oh my goodness, Mark Radulich. I am ready to talk some Megadeth tonight. I have been excited. I listened to this track we're going to be talking about here later. And it's Dave Mustaine. It's Ice motherfucking T, bitch. Together.
Talk shit, get shot.
That's right. That is right. So, yeah, it's going to be a fun one.
And he talks lots of shit, and he's not afraid of getting shot. Ladies and gentlemen, down there is the Metal Coop. How do you do, sir?
I want to say that the views of one Mark Radulich do not reflect my own views on getting shot.
But is there a Dick in the Vic? That's what I want to know.
Are we going to rewrite Bitch in the Pit as Dick in the Vic?
We certainly are.
There's a Dick in the Vic.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, no. Oh, no. It's a song about a necrophiliac medical examiner. There's a Dick in the Vic.
Oh,
Katie Vic.
Nothing like running gags on the Metal Hammer of Doom Extra.
Love it.
So anyway, yes, we are going to be doing a reaction to Megadeth's Night Stalkers, which is the second track, Chapter 2, featuring Ice-T on The Sick, The Dying, and The Dead, which is the 16th studio album by American thrash metal band Megadeth, which will be released on September 2nd, and we will be reviewing it a week from tonight. In the meantime, in between time, way back when we first started the Metal Hammer of Doom, one of the things that Robert Cooper wanted to do was a retrospective on Megadeth. We did a two-part retro. It's actually in the archive now on this feed from way back in the Blog Talk Radio days, where everything is inaudible and horrible.
Where everything was either recorded in a tin can or you wish it sounded like it was recorded in a tin can.
Yeah, well, there was just an incessant echo, people cutting out, no one could hear each other. It is amazing I've lasted this long in podcasting with the amount of trouble we had with Blog Talk Radio over the years. But anyway, so early on, Robert Cooper was like, I love Megadeth. We should do a retrospective. And we did. And we did that right before, I think it was Super Collider came out, which we also reviewed at the time. So why don't you, we're going to look at an article from Loudwire, which is the Megadeth albums ranked. We're going to do it casual hero style, and we're going to decide whether or not Loudwire got it right. But why don't you give him your bona fides, Metal Coop, Robert Cooper? Tell him what kind of Megadeth fan you really are.
Oh, I am the most Megadethy of Megadeth fan. In fact, I'm so Megadeth, I forgot to wear my Megadeth shirt, and I am instead wearing my Metallica shirt today.
Whoops. That's very Megadeth of you.
Well, that's true. I have to fight the man, you see. Yeah. I have to be it's ironic, actually. One of my favorite albums by Megadeth is In Game, and the entire basis of the title track is an Alex Jones conspiracy theory. What a world! I fucking love Megadeth still. Even though Dave Mustaine, is not the best vocalist, he just makes it work with what he has.
Hello, me.
Yeah, hello, meet the real me. Like he is not setting karaoke night on fire, but that's fine. It fits his music.
He really does sound like a guy who should be thrown down a flight of stairs and then shoved in a locker. But
he sounds like a guy that was thrown down a flight of stairs and shoved in a locker.
But like Dave Mustaine and I think like Axl Rose and some of these other singers, like they'll fight anybody, man. Like Dave Mustaine, you can try. Like he sounds like a guy that you would want to bully and pick on for sure.
I think he has,
but like I want to say like he will fight you, and he's scrappy.
Oh yeah, I get that.
He'll headbutt you.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, me.
But like, it's also just kind of funny that even though Dave is really the linchpin of the band, there are very few albums I would say by Megadeth that are bad. I used to say there were no bad Megadeth albums, but upon further review, there's at least two. There's at least two.
Well, if I remember correctly, when we did that retrospective, that first half that we did was pretty solid. It was almost like he's like, here's all the good Megadeth albums. All right, part 2, all the bad Megadeth albums.
Didn't we cut it off at Euthanasia?
Whenever the one was prior to Super Collider was, we went all the way through.
Well,
whatever
no,
that
I meant
was.
for part 1 and 2.
Yeah, I think
I think it was.
I think part 1 ended with Euthanasia.
Yeah, because like Cryptic Writings, I like Cryptic Writings. Not everybody likes Cryptic Writings. That's fair. Risk sucks ass. And then
we beat the shit out of Risk. Like I just listening back to it, I remember like we just pissed all over Risk.
It's one of those that like there are some songs on Risk that I like. I legitimately do, but there's also some I fucking hate, and it's kind of funny because Risk was released at a time that I really feel like the 90s metal sellout kind of was slowly dying out, and you had like Iron Maiden and Judas Priest coming back. Well, not Judas Priest, but Iron Maiden coming back with Brave New World. I feel like really did a good job of kind of jump starting sort of your classic metal sound coming back.
Let me get Jesse in here. Jesse, how much Megadeth are you familiar with? When did you start listening to them? I want to hear your bona fides. I want to see if you're ready to jump on this list that we're going to do. Casual Hero style.
I'm going through the albums, and there's quite a few on here. I don't think I gave more than maybe one listen to. Some of them 0. Risk being one of those. I don't think I've listened. Well,
you don't remember Crush 'Em?
I was going to say
where he fucking raps for Goldberg.
Yeah. Now that's the one that stood out. But yeah, I think I jumped on listening to Megadeth during Countdown to Extinction.
Yeah, that's what a lot of us did.
Right.
Same.
Got that tape from Columbia House, listened to it over and over in my Yellow Sports Sony Walkman. And then I think I really fell out of listening to them for a good while. And probably around 2005, 2006, I start listening to them again. And I'm going back and I'm listening to a lot of the older stuff prior to and really digging it. Like there's a lot of the earlier stuff that I love. And it's exactly. I don't know what Mark's doing over there, but whatever.
Is he doing Crush 'Em?
No, no. Peace sells, but who's buying? He sells, but who's buying?
So
he sells.
Listen, get your bingo cards ready. The Metal Hammer of Doom bingo card ready. What do you think I'm going to reference here, Mark Radulich?
The Wire.
No. So Metal Hammer of Doom bingo card.
Oh, okay.
It would be Guitar Hero.
Oh shit! Yes,
I forgot about Guitar Hero.
Hanger 18, baby.
Yeah,
Hanger 18 on there, and
that was the first time I ever heard that song.
Yeah, that took me. That made me go, "Wow, I'm missing something with this band."
How fucking good is Holy Wars though?
That's song. Great song.
Holy Wars. Punishment
that might be peak Megadeth for me.
I like it.
I don't know if it gets any better than Holy Wars. I will tell you. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, have you guys looked at the list prior to bringing on here? Do you know what the rankings are?
I mean, I know what 15 is because I looked at the article briefly just to kind of see what it was, but I haven't looked past number 15.
Shall we go ahead and make a guess as to what number 1 is before we get to looking? Because I've not looked either.
I'm going to go ahead and say number 1 is probably not so far so good. So what? Help me, Robert. What
P sells, but who's buying?
Yeah, I'm thinking P sells, but who's buying?
Okay.
Right,
I will go with Euthanasia.
Oh, see, I totally thought you were going to go with Symphony of Destruction.
Oh, no, I really do like a lot that's on there, and it's one of my favorite albums.
I was actually going to say,
you mean Countdown to Extinction?
That's the one.
Yeah, thank you.
Whatever. Make me get names right.
Glad we brought him on the podcast to talk Megadeth.
Straighten those old men out. I just wanted to say, when I was in high school, I owned the only 2 Megadeth albums I owned were Euthanasia and the Transformers soundtrack. I'm purposely doing this wrong now. Symphony of Destruction. Soundtrack. Symphony of Destruction due to foul play. It's a fiery introduction. Just a gift away.
So he's melding the two. That's beautiful. I see it now. I like it.
My answer was Rust in Peace, by the way.
Okay.
Rust in Peace is one of my favorite fucking albums ever.
Okay. All right.
Is Dave Mustaine not on the heroin?
All right. So I said Peace Sells. Mm-hmm. Jesse thinks it's Euthanasia, and you think it's Rust in Peace. All right. Yeah. Let's go ahead.
I'm tallying them up here. Let's see where we land when it's all said and done.
I think number 15 has to be Super Collider, and if it's not, I protest.
I think it could,
I can tell you it's not.
I was going to say, I bet it's Risks.
Risk wasn't great.
All right. So I have the article up here.
There it is.
Megadeth albums ranked. Scroll through the gallery to see how we ranked, and this is loudwire.com. See how we ranked Megadeth's album from weakest to strongest. And the first one is Risk from 1999, a Megadeth album that's perhaps best left forgotten. The aptly named Risk pushed the mainstream ingredients of the preceding cryptic writings over the cliff of reason, alienating fans while still leaving critics unimpressed. Lead single, Crush 'Em. It's by Goldberg. Fared okay at the radio thanks to a clever promotional tie to professional wrestling, but album sales still took a significant dive and convinced Capitol Records to let the band walk. Just a few years later, removed from their multi-platinum glory. All right, weigh in here, Robert.
Huh?
Go ahead, weigh in. Risk. Do you think it's of the 15 albums ranked? Do you think it's the worst?
I think that Super Collider is worse, and the reason why is I feel that Super Collider was, and I think I had the same opinion at the time, is the reason I felt it was worse is because you can't look at, unlike with Risk, where you look at how everything was going at the time and the climate and public and pressure to sell and be more mainstream. That's how I feel like a lot of Risk came from. Super Collider came after fucking bangers like 13 and In Game, where you have some amazing talent with you. And I feel like he just flew way too close to the sun and tried to do way too much.
Yeah.
It was just not a good fucking album.
Listening back to our review of Super Collider, we hammered this thing to death. So
yeah.
I hated it.
Yeah. I'm kind of with you.
Kingmaker was good.
I'm kind of with you. For me, it's 50-50. I mean, I think I remember hating Risk, but I remember hating Super Collider even more and questioning why I was doing the podcast with you at that point. So
because we listened to 13 other, what did we listen to? 14 other Megadeth albums first? No, 13 of them.
Something like that, yeah. All right, Jesse, what do you think? Because number 14 is Super Collider. So,
right.
Would you say Risk and then Super Collider, or reverse that, Super Collider?
I'll go with. I mean, it's not like it's a very educated decision here that I'm making, because I don't think I've listened to much of Risk at all. I was just looking at the songs on Risk to see if I recognized anything other than Crush 'Em. There's one other song on Risk that has just about, 50,000 more listens than Crush 'Em. And can you guess what that one is, Coop?
No, that was Cryptic Writings. It's not Insomnia. It's not Enter the Arena, because that was a minute long. Breadline?
It is Prince of Darkness.
Oh yeah, that one was actually on the Greatest Hits as well. That song is solid.
I don't even recognize. I just hit play to listen to it. I don't even recognize it. But
I forgot that song was on Risk.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and read this real quick. 14 Super Collider 2013. Like some kind of cyclical inevitability, 2013 Super Collider saw Megadeth's inching closer to commercial ambitions for the first time since the Risk fiasco over a decade earlier. And lo and behold, once again, fans and critics were largely unmoved by suspiciously thrash-averse offerings like Burn, Dance in the Rain, Gay, and for the matter, even nearly thrashers like Kingmaker and Built for War. In other words, the time for another mega reset had come, and the opportune departure of both guitarist Chris Broderick and drummer Sean Drover gave Dave Mustaine all the motivation he needed to fight back with a vengeance. Anything you wanted to add before we move on?
No. What do I think's next? Yeah, I thought it was going to be The World Needs a Hero.
Jesse, I felt like I cut you off just because I wanted to get that in. Was there anything you wanted to say before we moved on?
No, I didn't have much else to add other than Super Collider. I remember listening to your guys' review, and yeah, it was bad. They got, it's just not good.
All right, number 13 is The World Needs a Hero, 2001. After being set free by Capitol Records, Megadeth quickly found a new home with Sanctuary music. But recovering their top form would take a little while longer, as evidenced by the disappointing content of The System Has Failed.
This has Motorpsycho on it?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
And Red in the Future Decline, which did show signs of life. The entire record was compromised by the band's lineup instability and Mustaine's relapse into addiction. Oh, that's sad. His recovery, subsequent accepting of Christ, and hello, Christ. And finally,
meet the real Christ.
Hello, Christ, meet the real Lord. And serious arm injury. Ultimately, have you seen my ex that I keep women chained to?
You know how he did that, right?
And serious arm injury ultimately convinced him to disband Megadeth. What now?
I know how he did the arm injury. He actually was at a
BDSM.
I'm not mistaken, either at a clinic or somewhere. But he was so strung out, he pretty much fell asleep on his arm.
Fucking woke up with nerve damage.
Yeah,
that is fucked up.
He
damaged his arm
so
nerve
bad.
damage. Like that's fucking impressive.
I don't know. I mean, you sleep. If he's that fucked up, he slept on his arm wrong. Which how wrong would you have to sleep on your arm to fuck it up that bad? I mean,
he had to relearn how to play the guitar.
Right.
Oh my god. All right, so
World Needs a Hero. It has Return to Hangers, like the best song on that because hey, look, guys, it's Hanger 18 too.
and the best, the song that's played the most on Spotify from that album is Promises, which is not iconic Megadeth to me.
Song.
It's really it's probably because you listened to it and skipped it. It's real slow. I'm not a big fan of Mustaine and his slow stuff, but yeah. Promises there.
Are we good with this one? Is that like properly placed, Robert?
I think so. I was really thinking either that or I was really surprised because I saw it's one of those, honestly, if I see literally like just a centimeter of the album cover, I know what it is.
Right.
And I was really surprised that 13 was so low. The interesting thing about it is something I find very interesting is 3 of the tracks on 13 are actually re-recordings of other tracks they had. 2 of them were
a little lazy.
Well, actually, what it is it's 2 deep cuts that were on, I think, their Hidden Treasures album. Millennium of the Blind and New World Order were both like half songs that they just had on there, and they added a lot more flesh to it. The other one was Black Swan, which was from United Abominations, and I don't really feel like it needed a redo. They added more Deedly Weedlies in it. Added a little more thrash.
All right.
Exactly, more Deedly Weedlies.
Coming at number 12 is 13 from 2011. Given his checkered personal history, Dave Mustaine clearly had no fear of a jinx when he named Megadeth's 13th studio album 13, then made sure to pack it with exactly 13 songs. Problem is, for every one of these that made a positive first impression, like Public Enemy number 1, 5-0 said free, Jesse, and he got none.
Wrong man.
The title cut, there were more striking out completely the preachy We the People, that accidentally hilarious Wrecker. Plus, it was telling that standout Black Swan was re-recorded outtake from the United Abomination session.
I agree with Coop. I think this should have been a little higher, in my opinion. I don't think it should be this low.
All right.
I mean, I can definitely see, I can understand where they're coming from because like not all those songs were perfect, but I'm biased.
All right. The next one is Cryptic Writings at number 11.
See, I think well, I shouldn't say that because I don't know much about Cryptic Writings other than what you guys have said about it. I want to go look and see. This came out in 97, so I'm going to go look at the track listing, see if I recognize anything off of it.
I can already probably tell you what number 1's on there.
Trust.
The number 1 listened to track is Trust. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So Cryptic Writings, 1997, coming in at number 11, flushed with success and undoubtedly confident that their recent win streak was in no danger of subsiding. Megadeth took their mainstream metal aspirations yet another step forward with their 7th LP, Cryptic Writings. And whilst this inexorable evolution would lead to the outright disaster on the follow-up Risk, for now, the band's musical agenda was sustained by strong singles like Trust and Almost Honest. Plus, lyrically darker fare like Use the Man in Secret Place. Alas, Megadeth's self-assurance wasn't quite matched by songwriting inspiration here, with just as many songs proving forgettable in the long run. So, Coop, again, I'll ask you about where it should be higher, should be lower.
I mean, I think this is about where it was going to end up, unfortunately. I mean, Trust was really good. Use the Man, I really liked. But there's some other weird ones too. I think this one has The Doctor Is Calling, if I'm not mistaken. And that was a fucking weird ass song.
It's not listed.
Or maybe that was on Risk. The Doctor Is Calling is just a weird fucking song, I remember. But I felt like this album does a lot right and still has some of that Megadeth flair, especially like Trust was on that Greatest Hits. That's the first album of theirs I had was a Greatest Hits album, and I agree that song is really good. Wish I'd heard it live personally, but I mean, about 11. 11's about the place I expected this.
She-Wolf is the second most.
Oh yeah.
All right,
really.
We are into
Endgame.
We are into the top 10 now. Number 10 is Endgame, not the movie. 2009. If any Megadeth album is unfairly overlooked through no fault of its high caliber material, then album 2009's exceptionally sturdy Endgame, which extended the career rebound initiated by the system, has failed, and confirmed by United Abominations, but was somewhat overshadowed by both. Notably, Endgame was produced by former Sabbath guitarist Andy Sneap, and at the top of his knob twiddling, and his excellent rapport with Mustaine is revealed in a slew of great songs cut from fan-approved Megadeth cloth, and even an engaging experiment with the lush classical strings on Sealed with a Kiss. All right, Robert, Endgame, higher or lower?
I'd put that one a little higher, personally. I do like it more than United Abominations. I don't know if I'd put it above The System Has Failed, because The System Has Failed has some real bangers, too. But it's got some weird shit. I don't know. I'd probably put that... I'd bump it up 2 slots, maybe to 8. I don't think it's better than really the first... six albums. Don't think it was better than Dystopia. I do think it was better than the 2 albums before it, but I mean, again, I love Megadeth, but Endgame was the first album of theirs I would listen to. Like, I was around for it to come out, and I just fucking dove headfirst into it. I loved the album. There actually was I think 2 tracks from it on Guitar Hero Warriors of Rock, which was, I think, This Day We Fight, which I fucking loved. Like the first few tracks are just I think it was This Day We Fight was on there, and then I don't think Head Crusher was, but Head Crusher was a great fucking song with a fun fucking music video. I forget who was the MMA. I forget who the MMA fighter they had in it. I think it was Michelle Watterson, maybe.
Okay,
I can't remember, but yeah, fucking love this album.
Yeah, man, there's a lot on here that I really enjoy. I remember The Right to Go Insane sticking out. That's the last track on that album. That's being one of my favorites. It's not one of the most listened to, that's for sure, but I remember really enjoying that track. 44 Minutes is a great story being told in that track. I mean, it's fun to listen to. So yeah, I think Endgame definitely didn't deserve to be this low.
What about Dystopia coming in at number 9, 2016?
I'm gonna let you go, Coop. I know what I want to say about this album. I really like this album.
I really dug this album. I feel like maybe it's a little too low. Again,
Okay.
it's been a long time since I've listened to the System Has Failed in full. United Abominations I've heard a few times and I really liked, but I thought Dystopia was definitely stronger. That being said, that could also be the fact that the album before that was Super Collider. So it's it's kind of like you're eating McDonald's after starving on a desert island for 2 months. Like, it's not the best thing you've ever eaten, but damn, is it good.
Well, Loudwire says proof that intermittent change is a boon to Dave Mustaine and by extension Megadeth's musical good health. 2016's Dystopia debuted another lineup pairing the two Daves with Angra guitarist Kiko Loureiro and Lamb of God drummer Chris Adler that enjoyed immediate chemistry and positive results. Over the course of its tightly assembled 10-song track list, not counting a nifty cover of Fear's Foreign Policy, Dystopia checks all the crucial boxes comprising the vintage Megadeth sound while notably prizing complex song construction over easy rewards. Luckily, rewards are meted out to persistent fans in due time, just as Vic Rattlehead. Terrific. All right, moving on. There it is. There's your album. The System Has Failed. I don't know. Do you remember if I like this one or not? I feel like I struggled with this one when we listened to it way back in the day, Robert.
Did you? I thought, if I'm not mistaken, you didn't actually listen to a lot of the back half of these albums.
That's entirely possible. I might have been
I thought you were like, oh man, I couldn't get through Risk. And then I thought it slowly petered away, but I don't remember actually.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking almost 10 years now. If not 10 years exactly. But yeah, I don't remember a lot of the System Has Failed. You seem to be more familiar with this one than I am. I think I remember some of the discussion being how political this album was and me making fun of it for that reason. Because
it is very, very political. I mean, I love one of my favorite songs off this album is actually Kick the Chair, which is I love it because it's like, well, the fucking judicial system is rigged. Only thing you can do is kick the chair.
The System Has Failed 2004. After announcing his retirement off the back of twin disappointments, Risk and The World Needs a Hero, Dave Mustaine reminded everyone of just why they loved Megadeth in the first place with the return to form of The System Has Failed. Yes, there was still quite a bit of work to be done. The band's lineup was totally in flux, and a lot of material smacked of old glories, but a step back was precisely what Megadeth needed to resurrect its career and convince fans to give them another chance. I feel like, just kind of reading that description of the album, my reaction might have been, it's fine. It's, but it seems like it's an echo of Megadeth's former self, and like the politics of it was so hackneyed to me. I could see this album driving me nuts.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, this was the album that actually, I think that brought back Chris Poland, if I'm not.
Yeah, it said it in the description there. Yes. Return of founding guitarist Chris Poland was neither here nor there. That's what it says. Jesse, anything on the System Has Failed?
I recognize a couple tracks off that. That's not an album I go to a lot. I would probably have sent this lower, in my opinion.
I am having trouble tonight. All right, number 7, United Abominations, 2007. With the fan-like encouragement of his new support squad at Roadrunner Records, Dave Mustaine reconnected with his band's classic 80s aesthetic like never before, or indeed since, via 2007's United Abominations. All right, let me just stop it right there. Coop, United Abominations, too high, too low?
Again, I didn't love this album like the writer here seems to really hold it in high regard, because, like, yeah, this is number 7. After this is their original 6 albums, and
right. So what order is it in,
Well, I see what the next one is. I already figured that one out real quick.
Yeah.
Again, it's not hard. You give me just a sliver of an album cover, and I'm like, I know this one.
Right.
But I liked United Abominations. I felt like it was a very focused effort. The fucking album cover is really fucking goofy, by the way. I forget how damn goofy it is.
Yeah.
Vic Rattlehead with riding a fucking motorcycle with an angel on his back. It's really cheesy, but I can dig it.
This featured the future ex-Mrs. Jesse Starcher, Lacuna Coil's Christina Scabbia on a remake of A Tout Le Monde.
Yeah,
that's the only reason I'd ever listen to that song, by the way. I hate that song. Go ahead.
Oh, I fucking love that song. That's one of my favorites. It's because you don't like the French. I see how it is. What they do to you?
Jesse hates the French.
You've got me, sir.
Yes.
Oh,
Wait a minute. He's doing the laugh. He's one of them.
Oh no. Fucking the bratty one, big time, French hating Jesse Starcher.
Right.
We know what
Them
side
some
of the
freedom
100 Years
prize,
War
baby.
he fell on.
Next Metal Hammer of Doom Extra, Jesse's gonna have his freedom fries right in front of him.
And freedom toast.
That's right.
But United Abominations, I just specifically remembered the title track for this because I remember being like, yeah, because the UN wasn't fucking doing their job, because I was 17 and that's where I learned my fucking political discourse. Dave Mustaine.
Terrific. All right, moving on. All right, now we get into the big six here.
Killing
number
is my
6,
business.
and business is good. Because of Dave Mustaine's much publicized ouster from Metallica, Megadeth's debut arrived loaded with a lot more baggage than most bands' first releases. And this is very much reflecting the album's conflicting qualities. The only connecting thread here may be Dave's desperate need to be better than his betrayers. Boy, that was a major motivating factor back in the early days of Megadeth.
Oh, yeah.
By any means necessary. Be that instrumental prowess of Love to Death, Skull Beneath the Skin, frenzy thrashing, the title cut, his original mechanics, or sheer eclecticism. Nancy's not just these boots are made for walking. Oi, I remember that one. Oh, that and subpar production resulting from a meager indie label budget. This would soon be remedied, and even so, still could not conceal Dave Mustaine's burgeoning creative brilliance. So, Coop, very first Megadeth album here, Killing Is My Business and Business Is Good. What do you think?
It's actually funny because they mentioned the mechanics, and looking at the mechanics versus the Four Horsemen, Metallica did do it better, I think. It was definitely a far more mature song since the mechanics was about how many different ways can I talk about fucking this chick while using mechanic puns.
Nice.
And references to cars, which, hey, it's great. It sounds like something I would do, but it definitely doesn't quite beat the Apocalypse, Killing Is My Business, though, there's every fucking track on this album is fucking good. I do agree that the garbage can production quality, it almost sounds like they recorded it on Blog Talk Radio, in fact.
Right.
Blog Talk Radio. Peace out. Sorry. Wrong album.
Nobody's buying Blog Talk Radio. Including that fucking These Boots cover, which I saw that. All I saw again was just a little bit of yellow, and I'm like, oh, good, so far so good, so what?
Number 5, So Far So Good, So What, 1988. It's perhaps the ultimate testament to Dave Mustaine's genius that So Far So Good, So What, an album recorded under the chaotic circumstances of the chemically assisted self-destruction by an already doomed and short-lived band lineup, could hold itself together so well, if at all. But dang it, for every case of half or full arsed filler like Mary Jane and 502 and the totally uninspiring cover of the Sex Pistols' Anarchy in the UK, I wouldn't call it necessarily I thought the cover of the Anarchy in the UK. Yeah, I think it's good. There was a killer
changed the lyrics now.
There was a killer gem like Set the World Afire, Hook and Mouth, and the incomparable In My Darkest Hour. To make fans think twice about giving up on Dave. Well, he didn't always make it easy, but we're sure glad we stuck with him, aren't we? All right. So what do you think?
Go ahead.
Yeah. Fifth is about where I'd put that. In My Darkest Hour is fantastic. Hook and Mouth is a fun anti-PMRC song. That's
probably one of my top. That might be one of my top 5 songs from Megadeth. I don't know why. I really love that song.
And I love Mary Jane only because I got the fucking. I almost got fired wearing that shirt.
Sugar come by, get me high.
Wrong
I love
album.
you. Damn it.
Yeah, I was wearing my Megadeth Mary Jane shirt one of my first days as a manager at Lowe's, and my store manager fucking lost her shit.
No,
and I was like, but it's not about weed. It's just about he misses this girl named Mary Jane. She wasn't having that.
See, I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one.
Set the World Afire is on that album as well, and that's a great. Love that song. and
Into the Lungs of Hell, which comes right before it, is fucking awesome.
Right.
All right.
Well, I'm out.
You're out.
There
Jesse
it is.
loses.
Euthanasia, number 4.
There it is,
All
number
right.
4. The only thing wrong with Euthanasia was it's not being quite as magnificently right as its immediate predecessor, Countdown to Extinction, or Symphony of Destruction, whichever you like, and Rest in Peace, which together had pretty much spoiled Megadeth's fans quite rotten. If we're perfectly honest, Euthanasia's second half also felt a little light on the top shelf. Mustaine songwriting. But the first half was damn near perfect, none more so than the greatest mega ballad of them all, A Tout Le Monde, whose unprecedented vulnerability and sublime closing harmony guitars were, in a word, magnifique, Jesse.
A Tout Le Monde, 78,674,000 listens on Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think that may be the most listened to Megadeth song. Let me look.
Oh, I don't think that's the case.
I don't think so.
I bet you. I bet you it is. I'm going to the top and I'm going to take a look.
Okay. While he's doing that, Robert, do you think now he thought it would be the number 1 ranked album? Obviously, that's not the case. Do you think it should be in the top 3, or is about where it should be?
Number 4 is about where it was going.
Okay.
I mean, you've got Countdown, Rust in Peace, and Peace Cells as your top 3.
So
and I didn't think anything else was gonna.
Hogan, Sting, and Savage. Which one do you want to put at the top? You know.
Yeah.
Hogan, Sting, and Flair.
I'll. What if I choose the alternative? What if I choose Kwee-Wee?
Okay, well then we'll go back to cryptic writings. All right, Jesse.
And Euthanasia also had one of my favorite tracks on it, Victory, where it was him putting every single fucking Megadeth song title in song lyrics.
That's some like Weird Al level shit right there. Like Weird Al would do something like that. And
yeah, I actually remember that now that you mentioned it, and remember laughing my ass off at it. Can I tell you how much I love that album cover though? Like Megadeth with the Vic Rattlehead stuff, it's like, it's fine. I remember, so growing up in the all black neighborhood, listening to nothing but rap, I got into metal really like late in my child years, and I remember like going to the all these like white people's houses, and they would have like Iron Maiden and Megadeth stuff on their walls, and it would because I was a big pussy wuss, I was like I'd always get freaked out by it. So like Vic Rattlehead and Eddie, like that shit like bothered me. I didn't like any of that stuff. So years later, Euthanasia comes out and it's just like hanging kids on a clothesline. Granted, I'm also like in my senior year in high school or early college when this comes out, whichever, depending on what month it was. But I just, from an artistic point of view, I love this album cover. And it reminded me something of Jello Biafra said. He was like, talking about like digital music. You don't really get to appreciate the artwork anymore when you're able to just download. I think he was talking specifically about Napster at the time. And he was like, when you can just download a digital file and put it on some sort of, mechanical player, you don't get the true feel of the album buying experience, which is to appreciate the artwork that goes into the album cover. I mean, this isn't just 4 dudes, in tight leather sitting in front of like a garage. I mean, this is really artistic. Like I would hang that on my wall. Like that is a cool poster. You know what I mean?
I agree.
I do.
Someone help me. And maybe I just like I just want to like put babies on clotheslines. I don't know.
All right, 5-1. Here's what we're going to do real quick before we get in the top 3. 5-1 songs that are being listened to on Spotify. All right, just to see where a Tout Le Monde lands.
Okay.
So number 5 would be Hangar 18, 59 million listens.
Yeah, that tracks.
Number 4 would be, this is kind of, I can't believe this actually, Tornado of Souls.
Fuck yeah.
76 million.
Really? Okay.
Number 3, A Tout Le Monde with 78 million. So I was wrong.
It's not number 1.
No, it is not. Number 2, Holy Wars.
Holy Wars?
Yeah,
Holy Wars, The Punishment 2, 101 million. And then number 1, Symphony of Destruction with 207.
All right, which makes it the number. Now, who came in at number 3, Countdown to Extinction? Is that you, Coop?
No. I got to see who number 2 was, so I lost. You won.
Woo!
Which I kind of, it's one of those, as I was thinking about it, I'm like, yeah, Peace Cells is probably going to be number 1.
Okay, but Jesse, real quick, while he's rambling, look up and see what is Megadeth's most popular, most successful album? Because I'm curious to see if it's Countdown to Extinction.
Yeah, it got robbed of number one by Billy Ray fucking Cyrus.
Okay.
Fuck you, Billy Ray Cyrus.
Among the other Megadeth albums, I want to see which one has sold the most records. Like how many times platinum it went. Because my I don't know for sure. That's why I'm asking to look it up. But I would guess, just because like this album was fucking everywhere. Dude, 1992, in the midst of the grunge revolution, you know, in the midst of like alternative college radio going into the mainstream, there was this album, and it was this and the Black Album that was metal until like Pantera came around, which probably was around the same time. But I feel like as far as mainstream metal goes, it was Countdown to Extinction and the Black Album. You know what I mean?
Again, it's this. We're selling this. We're celebrating these 30-year anniversaries of some of the greatest things that have happened in comics, in the music industry. Megadeth's Countdown to Extinction it peaked at number 2 on the Billboard 200 chart. Isn't that what you just said, Coop? And
Fucking
it is
Billy
the
Ray
most successful.
Don't break my heart, my achy breaky heart.
I was actually singing that song a couple days ago.
Nice.
So that's how.
While you were walking around your block because you don't leave your neighborhood.
That's how did you know?
He's been
how
watching.
Did you know?
Naked from my window.
It's from what I see, I mean, Google's not going to be wrong when I type in Megadeth most successful album, and it's just right there in big fucking bold letters, like it's been asked 5,000 times already. Countdown to Extinction.
And I mean, it's actually funny though. I did look it up because I think Countdown is better than the Black Album. I'm just gonna say it. I'm biased, but also like I'm really fucking tired of the Black Album. I can go my entire life without hearing Enter Sandman again.
Okay. I think most of Earth. I'm going to go ahead and say most of Earth disagrees with you, but
you know what? That's fine. They can be wrong.
I have, my son's been listening to a lot of Metallica here lately, but it's all because of the Master of Puppets stuff from Stranger Things, right? And I don't think he's going to like the Black Album because he started playing. For Whom the Bell Tolls tonight. He's actually into like the really older Metallica.
Hang on, you really want to turn him off of Metallica? Either play him Reload or Saint Anger.
Yeah.
Reload is half of a good album, as is Load. If you would have put the two shitty halves in the trash can and took the two good halves together, it would have at least been good.
And not made your album cover Bloody Semen.
Yes, quite
Jesus
literally.
Christ. All right, number 2.
Saint Anger was awful, but what I was getting at with that 1992.
Did you see the fucking meme of baby Bart Simpson like beating the pots and pans? Just like picture of the Saint Anger recording sessions.
Oh, I fucking love that.
Fucking died when I saw that. I was like, somebody else saw it.
Accurate.
All right, finish what you were saying, and then we'll get to Rust in Peace.
I was just going to say that I think the third best album, like I maintain this, the third best metal sellout album is Testament's The Legacy, or The Ritual. I'm sorry. The Legacy is their first album. Like The Ritual, fucking awesome album. Like Testament does not have many bad albums, and that one kills. Anywho, Rust in Peace.
Rust in Peace at number 2. Is
Rust in Peace, 1990. It's got Holy Wars, The Punishment Due, which is just like the best Megadeth song other than Peace.
Yeah, I just read off which of those 5, 3 of those 5 are from that album.
Right. All right, and here it is. Number 1, Peace sells, but who's buying? Peace sells, but who's buying? Love that song.
A lot of good stuff on there.
Yes, sir. All right, man. Take me home from this bit, Robert Cooper. What'd you think of this list?
I mean, I didn't really find a whole lot in terms of controversy. It is funny that we really just kind of was like, all right, we're getting kind of long in the tooth. We need to skip these last 3 albums. But
no argument here. Moving on.
Yeah, this is great. Yeah, we knew this was coming. All right, this is fine.
The secret to a good list bit is you argue with the lower ones and everyone agrees at the top ones. Also, everyone's tired and doesn't want to do it anymore.
Yeah, I think Countdown to Extinction is fantastic. I really like what they did in terms of kind of slowing down a lot of the thrash that was perfected in Rust in Peace, which is one of my favorite albums of all time. Rest in peace was Dave Mustaine, clean off the heroin again, not on the drugs, like just fucking clean, sober, and fucking killing it. Like their songs, like Five Magics is one of my favorites, and a lot of it's just fucking noodling. I dig it. And then Peace Sells, you got the iconic MTV news line.
You hear it first.
But like it
I'm Kurt
has
Loder.
so many good songs.
Sassy.
Though it's sad, Dave Mustaine refuses to ever do The Conjuring live again.
Yeah, I always think of that story. You've told me this story before. Go ahead.
Well, that it's that he feels like now that he's a good Christian boy, that song is about summoning the devil, and he just doesn't want to do that again. Just like
meanwhile, Nikki Sixx is over there summoning the devil currently, going, "What?"
Yeah,
we do this every Friday night.
Just does nothing but cover that song every Friday.
Just like in Anarchy in the UK, he no longer says "I am the Antichrist." Like he covers it with something else. I think he refuses to play it because of that lyric.
All right, Jesse, I have a question for you. So I listen to all the old Metal Hammer of Dooms like constantly. It is my security blanket. It is my happy place when I'm at work and I'm feeling low about recent life decisions. And I need to be surrounded with the love of friends. I will listen to our Metal Hammer of Doom extras and
those good times.
Laugh myself silly. But part of what's made them so memorable and so funny to me is because I have made some interesting life choices as of late. And I've been to some places and I talk about them on the air and we have fun and we laugh about it. This is like the second time we've done. I want to use the word dry. I don't know how accurate that is. It's the second time we haven't told like personal sex stories that we literally just did like talk about music. And I have to ask you, what do you prefer? What do you prefer, little Jesse?
Me?
I want to know.
I don't. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how much I have to add to your story, sir. Other than just
you had quite a lot. Go back and listen to them.
Other than the Vaseline, not the Vaseline. Oh God, he was the hand sanitizer. I was the Vaseline.
Yeah. But I mean, if it's a good topic, it's a good topic. So I like talking about music.
I was gonna say, like, did you enjoy tonight? Like, did you go into this going? I just want to know. Did you go into this like with a little bit of anxiety going, fuck, what did he do this weekend? Please tell me he just stayed home and knitted or something. like a binge a television show. Please tell me he didn't have.
Here's what it was. When you said that let's do something on point tonight. Let's talk about Megadeth and do a little list. And I was like, I've heard this story before. I remember what happened last time. So I didn't go into this with any
I was ready to
expectations.
I was ready to do like a normal bit, and that's when Cooper was like this guy with his dick in the Vicks rub.
And then the train flew off of said track.
That's why I had a prepared bit, but I was fully prepared to like to vamp if Robert Cooper had a fun story for us, but. You know, I did want to check in. I like to check in and like the process.
I have a good time.
Jesse.
I have a good time talking with you guys. Just about anything. I enjoy Megadeth, so I was really hoping that we would actually stick to this and do
throw the list out the window. Let me tell you about the orgy.
I would have been pissed. I really would have been. I was like,
the judging was completely clucky. What do you prefer, Robert? Did you enjoy our dry actual music discussion tonight, or you're like, please next week, Mark, please, like, I don't know, invade a barnyard or something, do something that we can talk about. Like,
please don't invade a barnyard, sir. I know where most of your stories go.
As your lawyer,
yes, legally speaking, he did not ever go to a barnyard, nor did he commit sexual acts with any of these animals.
Not yet, at least.
I mean, I fucking love Megadeth, so I can talk all day about them.
All right.
I don't know. Like, I like a little bit of both because I'm a big silly boy. So anytime I can make fucking puns and like penis jokes, I'm here.
All right. I think this was a well-needed break and a good band to break with. I promise. I know what I'm doing this weekend.
But we don't know who.
Oh, I know who. I know what I'm doing this weekend, and I know who I'm doing it to. So maybe
horsey.
Maybe I'll have a story next week. Maybe. Problem is, I know what I'm doing and I know who I'm doing it to. But I've already talked about those things. I don't know. Like this is the problem. Before we went live tonight, I was like, I could talk about this, but one, I don't necessarily feel comfortable about it. Two, I've now done it twice. This is going to be another thing where I'm doing stuff this weekend I've already talked about before. So we'll see. What is
the plan for next week's? Let's try that again. The next week's Metal Hammer of Doom. What is? It's obviously going to be this. So what would be the extra normally? What are we going to be? What
Clutch.
album are we going to Clutch? How? Okay. Well, if you
I feel like Jesse, I was gonna say, wait a second. I think Jesse's like just big timing me now, and he's like, no, I'll set the agenda, fuckface. I got this.
I don't understand how you would not want to do anything related to Clutch if we're going to be covering their video. But if you got a better story, bring it on.
All right, so let's go. Let's do 50-50. We're gonna go into the next week's Metal Hammer of Doom extra doing something Clutch related, unless something happens this weekend that I have to talk about. I am compelled.
If you
get
get put in the camel clutch, okay, then or you put somebody in the camel clutch.
What if you put them in the camel toe clutch?
Oh, there it is.
That's the one from Women's Extreme Wrestling where she puts her in the camel clutch and sticks a tampon in her mouth.
It's entirely likely.
Right.
I know what I'm doing this weekend. All right, here we go.
He's
Megadeth
masturbating in a handbag.
That'll be Friday.
That's how he gets the clutch.
It's Saturday and Sunday where the sexy stuff is happening. Friday night may in fact be masturbating in a handbag. All right, Night Stalkers Chapter 2 featuring motherfucking Ice-T, bitch.
All right. Yeah, I haven't seen this video.
Hence
I've heard the song
music.
though.
I like that we have.
Oh, we got subtitles.
Yeah, we have subtitles.
That should be going on throughout the. It should just say tense music and leave it there. There's no reason.
Mark died.
He done left.
Concealed in the night from the light of the moon.
All right, Coop. So tell me what's going on here, man. Somebody crossing the river Styx?
I think so.
All right.
Definitely not the right band to be playing though.
Oh well, this guy sucks as a ferryman unless he's picking these people up and bringing them onto the boat, which would help.
Ironically, he's a ferryman and he doesn't have wings.
Wow, crazy. Oh, for a second there, I thought that was Hawkeye.
Oh, you think they have Jeremy Renner money? Oh wow, everything is bleeding.
That's not good. Oh, well.
What have I missed? Did I miss a major plot development?
The river Styx, and now somebody's in. Oh,
It's
good.
Rattlehead, baby.
Yeah, he's going to turn into Rattlehead. Okay. Oh, wow. The origin of Rattlehead right in front of us.
Did Ice-T show up and say that the government is fucked yet?
No, he has not yet. He will.
Trying to bring us down.
Intense metal guitar.
Civil unrest. Oh, it's so intense.
Intense. This is a long song too, if I remember right. It's like 7 minutes, 6 or 7 minutes.
Yeah, it's like 7 minutes,
almost 7 minutes. Pretty sure he doesn't show up till like near the end. Maybe it's in the middle and then it continues to go on for a while. I swear to goodness, I saw Hawkeye a few seconds ago, and that was Rattlehead. Turned into Rattlehead, but I guess not. What's going on here?
I feel like they just threw some sort of romance story right in the middle of this video. That drummer looks very happy. He's like,
well, yeah, don't you hear him? Just he is going. Does Dave Mustaine's do his vocals sound like a little they sound a little auto-tuned, or is it me?
I mean, he's like 100. It's okay.
They sound, maybe it's just because they sound so fucking clean. Oh, hey, look, they got rid of remember they got rid of David Ellison. James Lomenzo's there now. Yay. No, nobody.
He does look happy. That drummer has not stopped smiling.
Yeah, he hasn't stopped playing.
That's
I wonder
great.
what he's sitting on. Or
whom.
You telling me that bedroom right there is in the middle of this like shitty? Okay.
Oh, here he goes.
Yeah.
Here's the man.
They fly
Get it,
over.
Here we
Ice.
go.
Body count in the motherfucking house. What is he rambling about? Over bitches. Yeah.
Got you in my night vision. I'm gonna start doing that when I'm spying outside of people's houses. Got you in my night vision.
Bitches.
Oh, shit,
no.
that kid got killed, man.
Because he couldn't dodge.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, there goes this video getting blocked on YouTube.
It's fine.
Man, I hate seeing how old Dave Mustaine is and realizing that I've gotten old too.
He's
man.
now as old as Vic Rattlehead was. He's now turned. We've hit the point in Megadeth's career where Dave Mustaine has turned into Vic Rattlehead.
So, I'm still trying to follow what's going on here.
All I care about is Ice-T
okay.
showed up.
Yeah.
And just commandos running around with machine guns.
They can't kill Vic Rattlehead. He's already dead.
The only way to kill Vic Rattlehead is if you make the drummer stop smiling.
And we've already proven that is not going to happen.
Nope. Oh my god.
I'm still trying to figure out. I mean, I have no idea.
There's like a little.
Obviously, there's.
I'm wondering if this is like a prequel to the Winnie the Pooh horror movie. Have you seen that?
I have.
Blood and Honey.
Yes.
We live in a weird
Blood and
world,
honey.
man. Blood and
That's
thunder.
what is? It's public domain.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mickey Mouse is like dropped. Have they dropped? Has Mickey Mouse dropped?
That lawyer, the people in charge of the IP have to have been fired for that. Like, how do you? There's a goddamn riot at Disney World on Winnie the Pooh, for Christ's sakes.
Well, I mean,
Let
but
that
it's
one
the
go.
non-red shirt version of Winnie the Pooh. They're just not allowed to have the red shirt on him. Uh-oh.
Vic Rattlehead looking like the
Vic
Undertaker.
Rattlehead showing up like a Cenobite.
Hellraiser. I'm waiting for AJ Styles to show up.
That's what I was going to say. AJ Styles has got to be around here somewhere. Did he just
don't
go
know.
home and catch him on fire? Is that what happened?
I'm on fire! I'm on fire!
On Mike triggers.
He's going to go back into the cornfield. So this kind of like feels like, okay, like a Pumpkinhead situation.
Yeah.
Where, you know, this thing's come back for some type of vengeance, maybe?
It's because they said Rattlehead in front of the mirror 3 times.
No.
It's actually 5 times.
I really hope this album delivers. I really do.
I mean, if it's
Oh no, we got him doing a boogie night.
Oh, man, I wish I could follow this video and know what's going on.
This is a bomb song, though. Like, this is
It
really
looks-
good.
Yeah, it does sound good.
If the album is if the rest of the album is as good as this song, we're gonna have a good time with this next week. Dance with me, Jesse. Dance with me.
I'll bob my head a couple times.
All right.
All right. That's all you're going to get.
Damn.
All right. Vic.
Oh, no.
Hey, now they
always
did
leave them
something like
wanting
this
more.
before. Yeah.
Well, because you know they had part 1, that was part 2.
Right.
Oh, what was part 1? Hey,
Uh,
baby. Woo.
Get that out of there.
I love her when she shows me her thigh muscles. Go ahead.
Hey.
What would have been part 1? Was there a single that dropped off this album already?
Welcome back.
Okay. All right. So now that might be why
We'll
I'm
be back.
lost
Sorry.
in this video.
We'll be back. We'll be back. Yes.
Yeah, they did something like this. I think was it Dystopia where they showed us like a trilogy of videos, if I remember right, and I remember really liking that. So anyway, solid song. I'm going to be watching the video again and finding the first part and watching it.
All right.
What? Okay, so fucking Sammy Hagar is on this new album, by the way.
Really?
Yes. Yep. Former
it's
Van
on a-
Halen
it's
frontman
a,
Sammy
bonus
Hagar.
track.
Yeah, he features on a cover of his song "The Planet's on Fire." They did a cover of Dead Kennedy's "Police Truck." So I think we're gonna have a good time with this. I'm really looking forward to it. All right, folks, that is the Metal Hammer of Doom Extra. Tune in next Thursday for our review of The Sick, The Dying, and The Dead for the man of 1,000 nicknames, the bratty one, Juicy J, Dick Tittens, Jessykins, Big Time, Jesse.
He's gonna go through all of them.
6 months of these.
It's the
Big time.
Man of
Jesse...
1,000 holds, the man of 1,000 nicknames.
More nicknames than Muhammad Ali, Jesse Starcher, and for simply the Metal Coop, Megadeth's biggest fan. I'm Mark Radulich. Be well, be safe, and behave.